Hi everybody, Rob here from Price Studios, and I want to talk a little bit more about gear. As some of you will probably know, I've been talking about cameras and stuff a lot recently because my background as a photographer always makes this stuff come out. So I'm going to be looking at my three kind of top accessories for the X-T20, the Fuji X-T20, which is my kind of camera of the moment. I love this thing, I think it's brilliant, but it's not without its flaws. So first of all, and this has been covered elsewhere, so I apologise if you already know all of this. If you're coming from the point of view of a Fuji guy, you've probably seen this elsewhere. If you come from a 3D point of view, then maybe this is of some use if you're thinking about buying a camera for your work. So the body is small and light, and easily portable. With a pancake lens on, you can slip it in a bag or a big coat pocket without any trouble, but that comes with some issues. So the access door here, hopefully that's focusing on that, you can see this here holds the SD card and the battery. Now that's fine, but when you get a tripod plate on here, it covers the door, so you have to take your quick release plate off, which kind of defeats the object of it being quick release. So after a bit of research, I found this L plate, and it's labelled as a Niwa, but it's not. I think it was a Godox or a Godox, however you say it. They're probably all made in the same factory. Anyway, so I put that on here, and I don't know if you can see, but this has Arca Swiss quick release mechanism. So you don't need to have a quick release plate on here because it's built into the L frame, and because it's an L frame, you can slide onto a tripod that way or that way, so you can easily get your portrait and your landscape without having anything else added to the camera. Benefits of this for me when you're doing video work is because the ports here for microphone and HDMI and everything are in there, you also get a little bit of added protection from the frame here, which is great. And on the flip side, it gives you a grip with some divots in it for your hands, your fingers. So that's number one. Number two is the strap. Now this is going to be a personal taste thing. I love Owner. I've got two of their bags. I've got the a leather, it's like a kind of a satchel type thing, which is a lovely kind of brown leather. I think it's called the Brixton, and it's got a couple of big pockets on the front for things like paperwork and passports and my Kindle, because I travel quite a lot. And inside it can fit my MacBook Pro, and it can fit this body and 3 or 4 lenses, as well as a few other bits and pieces. So I like to be able to travel with that bag, which means I also have an Owner leather and canvas rucksack, which is a camera bag, but I use it as kind of my other daily bag when I'm going down to the office in Bournemouth, which I do quite a lot. Then I can keep my computer and everything in there, as well as actually more camera gear, so I can fit kind of 5 lenses in there, a couple of power bricks, all that kind of stuff. My drone, so my Mavic goes in there, all sorts of things. So I trust that brand, and that's more important to me than other stuff. So I know you can get kind of modern, sleek variations of all the gear that I talk about. Some stuff I like old-fashioned materials, old-fashioned construction, and Owner do that for me. So when I looked at getting a strap for this thing, I didn't want to have kind of around the neck strap. It didn't really make sense to me because I was carrying things mostly in a bag, whether it was a rucksack or a shoulder bag, didn't matter. I wanted something to be secure while I was actually shooting, so I went with a wrist strap. So you can see this is Owner, because like I say, I trust the brand. Let's see if I can get that in focus. Don't think I can. Well, anyway, this is a lovely, soft but thick, supple leather strap. It's got a little protection thing so you don't scratch your camera with the metal loop, and all it does is slip over your wrist. You can tighten it with the little band there, and it means that if I get knocked or someone bangs into me, or a wasp comes near and I have to run away because I don't like bugs, then it's not going anywhere, and I'm not going to drop an expensive camera for a silly mistake. So that's number two. My third And this is something which has bugged me about the Fuji range ever since I first got the X100, the original version, is the shutter release button. It's got some good things, so it's threaded, so you can put a quick release in or a remote release if you want to, although there are other options for doing it via USB, because there's a micro USB port in here, so I have an intervalometer which controls more than the camera lets you do on its own. So there's an intervalometer built into the camera, and there's bulb mode and a timer mode and everything built into the shutter speed control on here, so you can do some of it, but they're limited. So I have that in the USB port, and I have this soft release button, which I will be putting you'll see probably around now here somewhere, a close-up photo of this, and there are loads and loads of different versions and colours and designs, but essentially it screws in with a little rubber O-ring to stop it slipping, and it gives just a little bit greater feel. So as you get to your half-pressed focus, if you're using a autofocus, and then click again to release the shutter, but it feels nice. I quite like the look, it suits it. I think a little splash of red on a black and silver camera always looks nice. If it works for Leica, then I'm happy with it. This one's got a little bird on it, but I have others that are just plain. Some are concave and some are convex. There are lots of different varieties. So then my kind of 3 add-ons. Now I will just mention an add-on which I think everybody should have for all of their lenses, no matter what camera brand they're using, and I really think that camera manufacturers or lens manufacturers should ship with a UV filter on the front. So I use these Gobe, I think that's how you pronounce it, Gobe UV filters. In fact, I use Gobe for ND as well. I have a couple of, in my case down here I can see the variable ND filters, which are really, really good. They're cheap for what they are. They're really cheap, but they don't give you that weird kind of pattern that some cheap variable NDs give you, which is a good thing, and you can't tell in the final image that you're using the ND. There are no giveaway telltales. There's no kind of like magenta cast that you can get with some. So that's it for this video. That's my 3 top tips. I will be back in another video to talk about my favourite lenses for the Fuji system, and then we're going to move on to doing some 3D 4 photography. So thanks all. Please subscribe, like, all that sort of thing. Leave a comment, tell me if this was useful, tell me what your favourite accessories are if you're a photographer with a Fuji, and tell me what you'd like to see more of. So thanks very much, bye bye.